Set. Down.
With that right wrist.
Down. Set.
Good punch. I'd also recommend getting some tape on it too, because your hand is slipping. Because a lot of your pressure is not only your right hand, but your left hand too. If you're not able to drive over with both hands.
Am I trying to go over?
So all you're trying to do here is snap both wrists. My right wrist is coming over, snapping that rail over. And my left hand is doing the same thing right there. So both hands together, it's one synchronized motion of snapping and putting all that weight down.
Throat, now we just got to work on succinct, right? So we're not swiveling.
Set. Set.
If you're gonna throw that though, try and get your body around a little bit more so you have more weight. Not just your stick, you know what I mean? Those two days. So you can step it. Yeah. Yeah, if you need if that's what you need to do to get a little bit more weight there. Some guys with a little bit longer arms, they don't need as much, but for me, I don't have long arms, so I have to get a step and lift a little bit more.
Set. Set. Holding. All right. You have to watch his elbow a little bit. Set.
Oh, I thought it came out.
But if you guys go down, all right. If you both meet, all right. Just both meet, plastic. All right. Now watch. If you start swinging your left hand, Max, all right. You see how that can give a lot of leverage at that point. All right. But now reset again. But now move your left hand up. Now both meet plastic. You're there now, really driving the ball. See how you can get a little more power behind it, all right? Especially in case head's going to line up right there, right? Now as you lay the frame back, you can really get some power behind it.
The big thing too is, you see this sim rail? When you did it that first time, right there with your hand kind of up, my rail is sinking under there. By you keeping your left hand low, you're pulling that ball away from my bottom rail, so I'm not able to rake it out. So if I get that bottom rail, this top rail, I don't even need it. Like TK can attest, he could win all the ball, and my bottom rail could be barely touching it, I could just scoop it out. It's frustrating because you did all that work, you're trying to secure that ball, and I'm just able to rake it out there. So keep that head.
Set.
Oh, I knew it! The bottom!
Set.
Parallel. You got to think of it almost as a hinge. So like I telegraph mine really obviously. I'm super light on my fingers, and this left hand, it's almost cocked. You know, like you're riding a motorcycle, it's cocked super far forward. So with my fingers, all I'm doing is I'm grasping it just like that. It's getting it flat, and with that left hand cocked, all I'm doing is hinging it back to the heel. So it'll look like this. So right hand, left hand, right? And at one motion, we're aiming, try to get to the top of our stick. It's down, set, just like that, right? So that left hand is a hinge, and you're not moving it up.
So watch, so when we're going for this rake motion, okay, one, it's like holding a briefcase. It's just like raking. You put the stick in your fingertips. You're trying to get the face of the stick nice and flat, all right? And I'm gonna go a little bit into the ball. Now, that's your right hand. Your left hand, as I come here, I'm pulling through, and I'm trying to swipe the ball underneath. Now, there's two spots I'm aiming for, all right? Or at least you can start thinking about it. First one, if I can get it cleanly, I'm aiming for this part of the head, so that way I can get underneath and really swipe the ball through. The next one I'm aiming for, say Cade's got a good clamp, which he does. Next one I can be aiming for is more the plate rake style. I'm gonna get here, and I want him to clamp on top of my bottom rail. In his eyes, what does that look like? That he has the ball, right? Okay, but realistically, Cade, who has the advantage? I do, right? Because I'm underneath him. Now, there's two ways to think about this. Either I can pull backwards, which I know some people teach that. I myself personally like pulling to the side. Again, look at these knots right here. What do you think I can catch him to? His mesh, right? So I could pull him, but then at last second, he's gonna be like, oh, whoa, that last jolt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press a little bit, and I'm gonna start pulling. You see I catch a stick a little bit? So you can either go either or of pulling back, or going to the side. Again, my personal preference is just going to the side a little bit. All right, but you see how flat I get? It's quick, and I press a little bit into the ball to apply a little bit of pressure so I can grip it, and I can rip it out. All right? Cool.
That's kind of just a generalized thing for the whole group. is make sure our tape is consistent on our sticks. A lot of you guys have old tape, which what I'm noticing is when we're trying to snap our wrist down, the stick is physically twisting out of our hand, so we're not able to battle as well. Make sure you're taping up at least, you know, once every other week. Just that top tape. You don't have to replace the bottom tape, but make it consistent how you are in a game, because say you're coming to a game, you know, it's game week, you tape it right before, it's gonna kind of feel weird. It's too grippy, or it's like, I'm not really feeling it for a game. Make sure it's consistent, you know, you practice how you play. And then also, like I was saying with our wrist, it's not only grip, but a lot of you guys are just keeping that wrist right here and you're punching in just with your shoulder, elbow. I like to think about a triple extension. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. I'm extending everything right here. You should end like this, right there. A lot of you guys aren't doing that, so it's pushing the ball in the other guy's stick.
Yeah, building on that, two things I thought I saw pretty common. When we're throwing our lasers out, some of you guys do a good job, but when we're throwing them, we want to make sure that we're getting that top, our head flat, and we're also not lifting up with our left hand. We want to hinge with our left hand, so that way we're staying flat, and it gives us the best chance to swipe that ball out. And then moving on from that, I think we did a good job today with foot position and everything, but I think one thing we need to focus on is identifying when to crank back and locating that. So obviously that a lot of that's just going to come through straight reps, but understanding like it doesn't need to be a crank back every time. Sometimes you can just punch forward and drag quick, but when you do need a crank back, we need to do a better job of sometimes identifying that, punching, and getting that crank back to a quick exit.
Set. Set.
Oh! There. Should be cranking down with your left hand too.
Ready. Set.
I saw that. What I want you to do though there, don't use your head. Alright, when you do that, so get down in your clamp.
I'll do them with you. Let's go.
Use like the this one.
So get down to your clamp like how I just was. So get the ball. If I use this part of my head, how effective is this? See my head bending there? You want to go glove the glove right here. So when you go, glove the glove right here. Pull up. Because if I'm using my glove, that's a solid object. If I use the head of my stick, it's just going to bend around them. It's not going to be as an effective counter.